Hi, I'm Ethan. I'm 19 years old and I've been coming to Elwood Anglican since I was 13. I am a leader at Thirst on Fridays, that's our youth group. I'm also a leader at our Ignite Sunday School on Sunday mornings. Kind of the same thing there, I lead small groups, I play games, and I teach kids about God. I run a sound desk. I'd attempt to sing, but they'd just kick me off the stage. My parents separated when I was about 10 or 11. It sucked. I mean, like, who wouldn't think it would suck when your parents split when you're a kid? They didn't work together. It was probably just going to get worse and worse and have an effect on us. But like, as a kid, it sucked. Growing up, I had some Christian influence. Like, only my Uncle David, really. He was a really good influence. He's what got me into the church. I got into coming here. He came over to my mum's house one day and asked did I want to come along to church, and I was like, yeah, why not? And I came along, and it was interesting. I liked the people; they were nice. I liked the environment, the feeling. In myself, I didn't really feel the presence of God at that time. Like, I kind of always believed there was a God. I just didn't understand religion. I don't really have a defining moment. Like, it was around year 9. I would have been like 15 years old, and I just kind of was just thinking one day at church, I think, and I just was like, I looked back on like my life of like 2 years of coming to church, and I was like, okay, I'm praying, I'm talking to God, I'm doing all the right things. So in my head, I was a Christian and I was okay with that, but like, it wasn't until later on that I think I fully understood what it meant to be a Christian. Thinking back, I'd say I was more a fan of God than an actual follower of God. So it was around year 10. My school did a mission trip every year. It was one of the greatest things I've ever done in my life. It was amazing. And like on that trip, I realized what wanting God was, what wanting to pray, wanting to seek God, know God, love God was. It wasn't just like I was doing it to do it. It wasn't like I was just coming to church. It was like I was going to church to serve God, to spread His word, to get more knowledge about Him. I wanted to do more, not just to do it for myself or for other people or for other people's approval, but for God. Anxiety. When I was in year 5, I just remember like this really bad attack I got. I don't really remember much about it or anything like that. I just remember wanting to be away from everyone, wanting to close off myself. Like, I sweated, I shook, I just locked my room and just sat there for about an hour, just unsure of what's going on, feeling the whole world is falling on top of me. And I don't know why, where it came from, what was going on. I just was scared. And a good example is like when my parents were separating. I remember one night I just absolutely broke down in my room for 2 hours of crying, and then the next day I got to school and smiled and pretended everything was okay and pushed it down and never told anyone, you know, the healthy option. So I kept going on with anxiety like that, not really understanding what it was. Like, back then I didn't know what anxiety was. It was just a really bad thing that happened to me every now and then, and I don't know, I just never felt comfortable talking to anyone about it. About halfway through the year of year 10, there was a month where I got like 3 really bad attacks, and like, the last one was one of the worst attacks I've ever had to this date, and I self-harmed. I don't know why at all. It just, I don't know where it hit me, and I don't remember doing it during it or before it or anything like that. I just remember thinking, why did I do that? Where did that come from? And I just didn't understand anything. After I signed up for the mission trip, we had to get to know each other. And part of that was we had to write a testimony, and we did it in groups. And part of it was anxiety, depression, and non-Christian family and all that kind of stuff. When I came to telling it to my small group was like so confused as to I had anxiety. It was really like, they just couldn't put into their head how I could, because I'd always be taught listening and smiling and having fun. A lot of people think when you become a Christian, oh, God's gonna heal you. God's gonna be like, oh, you don't have anxiety and depression anymore. You don't have anything wrong with you, but that's so not true. I've met so many people, Christian and non-Christian, with anxiety, with depression, and it's the same. It sucks. It makes you feel terrible, and sometimes it is hard to believe that there's a God, or there's someone that's meant to be helping you. Like, you're in this vulnerable, broken position in this world that is disgusting, and it sucks. Life sucks, but life with Jesus is 100 times better than whatever you go through on earth. And you'll go through times where you can't feel him, but the moments where you do feel his presence and his arms around you are worth 100 years without him. What do I do? What do I do when everything's crap? I ask for help. Sometimes it's literally just me on my knees in my room, tears running down my face, and I just say, God, help me. And it may not be in that moment, or that week, or that month, or that year, but I know he will help me. I have faith that he will help me. And sometimes it's just me and him just talking. I could be in some of the worst panic attacks I've ever had, and sometimes I will just talk for an hour. And it'll make me feel better. And I know he's there, and I know he's listening. And it's good. It's honestly good.